So now it's like, well, who is going to have my back?
This isn't clarity. It's control disguised as compassion.
I think I get Cody pretty well.
Robyn says that she can speak Cody, and I'm like...
When Sister Wives star Robyn says, "I speak Cody," what she's really doing is masking her manipulation.
She speaks Cody.
She frequently steps in to interpret for him, not because he's hard to understand, but because he's struggling to repeat something she already told him. He often tries to explain a new rule or insight, as if it were his own, when, in reality, it's something Robyn planted. And since he doesn't deliver it quite the way she intended, she quickly jumps in to clarify.
Robyn says that she can speak Cody.
She'll say, "What you're hearing is," and proceed to repeat exactly what he just said, then twist it slightly to sound softer or more reasonable. What she really means is, "That's not how I told you to say it." She isn't helping him communicate. She's correcting his delivery. He's voicing her thoughts, but not quite nailing the tone or message she wants. So she steps in to reframe it, not for clarity, but to regain control of the narrative. She doesn't ask him what he means. She tells him what he means. It's subtle but consistent and deeply unsettling. This behavior centers her in every conversation, turning even unrelated discussions into opportunities to assert dominance.
Well, Cody can speak for himself. He's a grown-ass man.
This dynamic isn't about support, it's about control. She isolates him emotionally by presenting herself as the only one who understands him. She constantly appeals to his ego, reminding him how disrespected he's been, how poorly others treat her, and how only she truly honors him. In doing so, she positions herself as both the victim and the hero, drawing him in as her defender.
He could be misunderstood very easily because...
Rather than enhancing his voice, she replaces it. Cody speaks bluntly, without a filter. He says what he means. Robyn uses that bluntness as a doorway to insert her interpretation and label it as clarification. But really, she's just substituting his message with her own.
I speak Cody. Well, Cody can speak for himself.
There's a clear pattern. She takes over conversations, even when they don't involve her directly. Her dominance isn't about communication skills. It's about consistently pushing her agenda under the guise of understanding and support. She walked into a 20-year-old polygamist family and crowned herself queen. And somehow, it worked. For years, Sister Wives star Robyn positioned herself as Counselor Robyn, the one fluent in Cody speak.
So Cody passed out all these rules written down.
The keeper of the rules, and the unofficial authority on what everyone else in the family was doing wrong. She wasn't just another wife, she was the one who knew best, the one who always seemed to have the final say. But lately, a new version has emerged. Deeply devout, spiritually urgent Robyn, clinging tightly to her religious identity within the AUB. The shift is striking. Where was this concern for religious structure and upbringing during their years in Las Vegas or Flagstaff? There were no regular church services, no church-run schools. Her faith mostly showed up in sporadic moral lectures in the living room or quiet objections when the kids wanted to join more mainstream youth groups. Now, everything is suddenly about the church.
Hi, Cody. Just wanted to follow up from the text I sent a couple weeks ago. Just wanted to let you know that
After Mary received a formal religious release from her marriage, something Robyn insists is required, Robyn has gone into overdrive.
Recently, the girls have been sort of expressing, Brianna have been expressing.
She's seeking a church for her adult daughters, making sure she approves of the choice, and openly confessing to clergy that she doesn't know how to proceed because Cody no longer identifies as a polygamist. Her entire spiritual framework seems to be unraveling. Cody said he didn't see the need for a release from Christine, but Robyn disagrees. According to her interpretation, all the wives must now get official releases from a church Cody no longer belongs to in order to fully sever ties. Somehow, Robyn remains deeply committed to a doctrine that the rest of the family, especially Cody, has visibly abandoned. It raises questions. Are we heading toward a situation where Cody tries to get formal releases for Janelle and Christine, even though Christine is happily remarried and living a completely new life? Robyn appears to believe Christine's remarriage alone counts as a spiritual divorce.
Spiritually.
I don't know.
Meanwhile, Janelle, who has said she doesn't plan to remarry, remains in some undefined limbo, potentially still linked to Robyn in a celestial afterlife if Robyn's interpretation holds. What stands out the most is the sheer confidence Robyn has always had in defining polygamy, despite being the last wife to join the family. The others had been living the lifestyle and navigating its challenges for decades. Yet somehow Robyn arrived and instantly became the expert, the translator, the voice of spiritual authority. Her insistence that she's sacrificed everything for this religion, even as her practice of it evolved only when it served her needs, speaks volumes. And now, with her version of faith under threat, she's demanding actions from everyone else to stabilize it, actions rooted in a belief system that her own husband has seemingly abandoned. They said Cody was afraid of Mary. The truth? He was afraid of what she knew.
And this whole thing about like he's afraid of what she would do. And I'm like,
When Cody claimed he never officially ended things with Mary because he was afraid of what Mary would do, it rang hollow.
Information.
He always seems to come out ahead financially on a deal.
And he's very greedy when it comes down to money.
Why?
It seemed less like fear and more like convenience. He wanted continued access to her money. That motive still holds weight, but there's likely more to it.
if she was married or if they were dating, I want to say that they were just dating or courting.
Before the other wives left, he may have also been worried that Mary could expose the real story behind how he and Robyn met. It's entirely possible their relationship didn't start the way it was portrayed. Maybe it began during his travels, possibly through mutual acquaintances or some early flirtation while he was on the road. At that point, Mary was desperate to stay in his good graces and likely went along with whatever version of events he needed her to.
Is he trying to paint her like some sort of psychotic killer? I don't know,
Now, the narrative is shifting. He's implying Mary was volatile, someone he had to walk on eggshells around. While it's true she had a strained relationship with the other wives and could be blunt,
Robyn was in the picture. I don't know if they were married quite yet. He melted down the ring.
this is also the same man who melted down his wedding ring and once gave her nothing for Christmas while showering others with gifts. That's not forgetfulness, that's cruelty. It seemed like he enjoyed watching her suffer, confident that she'd never walk away.
That this is what happened, and so now I feel like my hand is being forced.
Mary, however, has always been the keeper of family secrets. She was the longest-standing partner, the one who followed the rules, and likely the most loyal. She knew everything. For a long time, the only thing Cody feared was what she might reveal, until the catfish incident. After that, he had leverage, and the dynamic shifted. Still, the fear hasn't entirely gone away. There's concern that Mary could expose the truth, how his relationship with Robyn really began, Robyn's involvement in the aftermath of the catfish situation, financial details, and even behind-the-scenes drama like the nanny. There's a wealth of hidden history that could come to light, and it would be explosive. In reality, Mary was made the scapegoat again and again. She certainly wasn't perfect, but she didn't deserve the coldness and exclusion she received. Her contributions were real, and her love for the children was evident. While she had her flaws, the treatment she endured casts her in a more sympathetic light than ever before. Robyn didn't ruin the family. Cody did. And here's why no one wants to say it out loud. It's almost laughable, if it weren't so frustrating, how Robyn is portrayed as some kind of puppet master who single-handedly destroyed an entire family. Blaming the woman while excusing the man is a tired, patriarchal trope. It conveniently ignores the glaring truth.
I mean, it's been a long time coming. It's been like 8 years coming. For you.
There was one constant in all those broken relationships, and his name is Cody. Cody didn't put effort into maintaining his marriages. He created divisions between the women, played favorites, and neglected the children of his original wives.
In some way, he always seems to come out ahead financially on a deal.
He controlled the finances, withheld access, and used money as a tool of power. Robyn wasn't siphoning funds in secret. Cody handed her everything. He chose to spend nearly all his time at her house, made her the priority, and expected everyone else to quietly fall in line.
They're blaming me on making decisions about mitigating, lowering exposure.
And yet, somehow, the narrative still paints Robyn as the ultimate villain. Robyn may not be a master manipulator, but she does engage in emotional dishonesty.
Yeah. I did? Yeah, you flew off of it.
Her words rarely match her actions. She plays the helpless victim, says what she thinks others want to hear, and then does the opposite. That kind of behavior is manipulative, even if it's clumsily executed. And it causes lasting damage. People like that are hard to trust because their motivations are always hidden behind a carefully curated mask. But the root problem? That was Cody. He's the one who enabled Robyn's behavior, who chose to abandon his responsibilities to the rest of the family. He dismissed concerns, ignored pain, and used control as a substitute for leadership.
So now it's like, well, who is going to have my back?
Janelle asked me about the property.
He even admitted it outright, at one point responding to criticism with, "I'm just a narcissist." No arguments there.
He doesn't need to be here micromanaging how I fill up this trailer with the last of my crap.
Cody didn't just allow the destruction of the family. He orchestrated it. Robyn may have played a role, but he was the one who made it possible. He turned a flawed system into a personal empire, then acted shocked when it collapsed under the weight of his ego.
150 people showed up to our wedding.
It's quality, not quantity.
Both of them contributed to the downfall, but only one of them had the power to stop it, and chose not to. What if the real manipulator in this family wasn't Cody? During the COVID era, and even earlier, as the marriages began unraveling, it became increasingly difficult to understand Cody's perspective.
Well, and when you were gone for 4 or 5 months, Cody, they started to get angry.
I wasn't gone for...
It seemed obvious that distancing himself from his wives and children for months at a time would have devastating effects on those relationships. And yet, he appeared blindsided by the fallout. Eventually, it became clear...
Do you understand that you lie? That's the reason I call you the Teflon Queen.
Cody craved attention and control. When those were withheld, his ability to empathize or reflect disappeared. He withdrew, hurt and resentful, seemingly unable to see beyond his own disappointment. At times, he even seemed detached from reality altogether. Robyn's role raises equally perplexing questions. Has she ever expressed genuine empathy for why the other wives left? While the bulk of responsibility for the failed marriages often falls on Cody, Robyn's behavior doesn't suggest innocence either. One particularly telling moment was her reaction when Christine expressed that her marriage was suffering back in Las Vegas.
Everything about Robyn, that's actually a lie.
Robyn's sharp interjection, "That's a lie," was startling. The tone and timing felt like an unguarded glimpse into her true feelings, as if the carefully controlled facade slipped, if only for a moment. Is it possible Robyn truly believed the family was functioning harmoniously until Christine disrupted it?
What I saw was real, and I'm not trying to be insulting there.
Her repeated claims of being unaware of Cody's neglect, of not tracking the family schedule or noticing the imbalance, are difficult to reconcile with the circumstances. Those excuses feel less like naivety and more like strategic denial.
And we just adopted Robyn's older kids.
There's documented evidence of her influencing other wives, most notably Mary, yet she continues to present herself as blameless. Her consistent narrative casts herself and her children as the true victims, exempt from responsibility for the fractures in the broader family dynamic. What's particularly troubling is the pattern of subtle dismissals and backhanded defenses. Statements like,
"When each of Cody's kids were born, they all just brought him so much."
Cody is great with the kids. He loves doing bedtime and homework, followed by, "That's just my experience," serve to validate her own reality while implicitly undermining anyone who disagrees. Such comments may sound innocuous, but in context, they reinforce a hierarchy where her relationship with Cody is the standard, and others simply failed to measure up. It becomes evident that as long as her marriage was intact, the state of the others didn't matter. She may not be intellectually calculating, but she operates with a keen instinct for self-preservation. Like a fox in a henhouse, she knows how to move without drawing too much attention, while ensuring her interests remain secure. Empathy for the other wives appears virtually non-existent. The focus has always been on her needs and those of her children. Cody's near constant presence in her home since the Vegas years wasn't coincidental, it was by design. When the family began to fracture, the narrative shifted to blaming the other wives for their failed relationships, never Cody and certainly never Robyn. At the core, there may be a deeper internal conflict. The realization that the version of Cody she fell for, one she believed in and defended, was based on qualities that were never consistently real. And perhaps that truth, more than anything, is what she's unwilling to face. They didn't build a home, they built a trap.
And if we were to build one home, like right around this spot somewhere.
What if Robyn and Cody always wanted that massive, all-in-one house on Coyote Pass, not to bring everyone closer together, but because they saw the writing on the wall? Eventually, the others would be gone, and they'd be left with a fully paid-off, multi-generational dream home, perfect for keeping all of Robyn's precious ones close, even after she's matched them with partners and orchestrated their marriages like some benevolent puppet master. Cody, of course, had his own reasons.
There might be some fiscal advantages to having one home. If we really want...
A big house with his name on the deed meant control over the property, the money, and the family. It looked virtuous on the surface. It's about unity, but underneath, it was a strategic move. Once everyone's finances were tied up in one shared asset,
If we do this, they will bury me here.
extracting anything from it would be near impossible. In the end, though, they didn't need the big house to pull it off. They achieved the same result with Robyn's current home.
Right into building property, but we're sitting here like...
Despite contributions from others, it's difficult to see how Mary or Janelle could realistically claim any part of it now. There's another layer, too. That big house idea had a built-in plan. Christine, as the family homemaker, she would have cooked the meals, organized the events, welcomed the grown children when they visited, and babysat the grandkids.
A billion bedrooms and 4 kitchens and 4 living rooms. We had to let go of that idea.
Sure, the design included separate kitchens for each wife, but it's clear who would have been doing the actual cooking in the main living space. Cody and Janelle didn't want to, or couldn't, put in the work to keep a household running. Robyn didn't have the energy or the skill. Mary had the ability, but preferred focusing on business, learning, and creative hobbies.
This is definitely Christine, but I'll let her decide.
Christine was the one who made things warm, livable, and real.
My wives are completely resistant to the one home idea.
That's why, when she declined the idea, the whole plan fell apart. Because without her, who was going to run what was essentially a family-sized hotel and still make it feel like home? They want you to believe the wives didn't try hard enough. The truth? Cody never gave them a chance.
The rotation we had with my schedule before COVID.
There's a constant refrain from Robyn about how she tried to be fair, how she made sure Cody spent equal time with all the wives and treated everyone equally. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But what goes consistently unaddressed is how Cody inherently treated his wives differently, especially when it came to Robyn. It's not just about how things played out in the later seasons. From early on, Cody clearly respected Robyn more, listened to her more attentively, and actually engaged with her ideas. His emotional availability with her was simply on another level.
Whoever that night with not being like, okay, I gotta get ready to...
And yet, Robyn frequently implores the other wives to work on their marriages, as if the solution is more effort on their part. The obvious question, why not start by asking Cody to actually care about them or listen to them?
I feel like, yeah, I need to figure out how to forgive her. That'd be a good idea.
What's baffling is that when the wives finally choose to leave, Cody and Robyn are shocked and hurt, but completely unwilling to consider that Cody's behavior might be the root cause. Instead, they chalk it up to the wives simply not trying hard enough. It's absurd.
It's a trap.
Say it. I disagree with you, Cody.
Consider season 1. when Mary poses a hypothetical. What if she had multiple husbands? Cody is visibly uncomfortable and receives criticism for his reaction. In the tell-all, he's still angry, claiming she ambushed him to make him look bad. Years later, in a recap episode, he revisits the moment, still furious, and says she was trying to trap him. Mary denies it. His response? I forgive you. As if she had sinned. This is someone who punishes his wives for stepping outside the approved narrative.
The one house was so hard. I never felt like I was queen wife or queen mom.
He's admitted in therapy, I'm not up for criticism. He's tired of complaints and simply won't allow them. That mindset set the tone for how conflict was managed or ignored.
He would come over like at 5 at night, have dinner with us, be on his phone constantly, whatever.
Christine pointed out that Cody would show up at 6 p.m., stay glued to his phone, then leave by 6 a.m. to return to Robyn's. He insisted he wasn't with Robyn and the kids, but was just working in the private office Robyn had created for him. Christine's eye roll said it all. Then there's the claim from Robyn that I never cared if Cody was with me or not. That's revisionist at best. The man couldn't be away from her and her children for more than one night. He refused to be with Isabel for her surgery, claiming it was too much to ask. But apparently, everyone's supposed to forget that. To be fair, things weren't always so black and white. In earlier seasons, Cody did engage with Mary and Janelle, sometimes seriously considering their perspectives. Mary even took it upon herself to tell Christine she wasn't doing enough to work on her marriage. Cody has credited Janelle with convincing him to stay with Mary during a low point. And during the My Sister Wife's Closet era, he was clearly caught between pleasing Robyn and trying to navigate things with Janelle. So, no, the favoritism didn't begin the day Robyn entered the picture. The dynamics have always been in flux, complex, messy, and constantly shifting. But Cody's increasing emotional investment in Robyn, combined with his refusal to take criticism or examine his role in the breakdown of the other marriages, became an unavoidable pattern, one that, curiously, is rarely acknowledged, especially by those at the center of it. Thanks for spending some time with me here on Reality Nexus X. Always more to uncover, but that's it for now. I'm Elena. Take care, and ta-ta until next time.